Welcome back to the Be About It podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, hello, I'm your host, Matthew Dangyou. This podcast is about how people put in the hard work and action each day to achieve their goals. Today, I'm joined by Luke Cosley. He runs the tech team for the 11-12 high school ministry at North Coast Church. He also recruits and trains students on sound, lights, and slides for the weekend. He helps plan mission trips, camps, and events for the guys' ministry. Freaking live, bro.
It's lit. What's up?
It's lit. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Good. How do you feel right now? What's going through your mind?
I'm a little nervous because I've never done anything like this before. I've never been interviewed, so we're just gonna see how it goes.
We'll just start off like super easy, I got questions. I prepared.
Oh yeah.
Definitely did not look up best questions to ask during a podcast. Definitely didn't. First one I found, though. What's your go-to order from your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite restaurant, Ben?
Dude, that's hard. I just love food. If we're talking fast food, I'm getting a spicy sandwich and a large fry from Chick-fil-A.
All right.
And if I'm feeling like a big spender at Chick-fil-A, then I'll get a frosted strawberry lemonade with it. If we're talking like real restaurants, there's this place, I think the closest one is like San Onofre, called Itchaberry. It's like it's kind of like Benihana's, but like actually good.
Okay.
So I get the filet mignon with the fried rice and the shrimp.
You're freaking just styling over here right now.
So it's like I only go there when we're with my family and they pay for it because it's like a $50 meal. It's like 25.
But still, it's like probably like 25 per.
Yeah, it's
person.
like 25 per person. Jeez. Yeah, it's not very often that we're there.
I'm going to a buffet and I'm gonna be staying there for like 5 hours, and just gonna be like.
Wait, but is it a Chinese buffet or is it like hometown buffet?
What casino is it?
Was it Harrah's? It's
in like Julian.
Oh, never mind then.
It's really far. It's like an hour trip away, but it's like a $40 buffet. But it's like, imagine a World Trade Center, right? But with food instead of people.
Yeah.
So there's like all you can eat sushi, all you can eat Mexican food, all you can eat seafood, crab, lobster, and it's just
good. Oh, speaking of Mexican food, you trying to go to Taco Tuesday after this?
Taco Tuesday? Where are we going? Fresh to Baco Hotel?
We could go to Taco Bar, which is like right down the street, or we could go to Primo's and get those 69-cent tacos.
All right, I'm down. We'll talk. We'll talk. How'd you get into? So talk about sort of what you do with interning at 11-12. How'd you get into that?
Yeah, so I started going to 11-12 as a student in my junior year. And probably midway through towards the end more, one of my friends who was on the tech team was like, hey, do you want to come and just run slides for me this weekend to see how it works and, start working tech? And I was like, okay. So I just started out, volunteering as a student, just clicking through slides on the weekend, just basic stuff. And then towards the middle of my senior year, they're like, okay, you want to start like learning the real stuff. So I got trained up on how to, mix sound on the soundboard and like how to EQ vocals, EQ instruments, and just like slowly learning that process. And then at like the very end of my senior year, I was like learning how to create, lighting shows, how to patch lights into the system and just running all that. And during my senior year, I was interning for the ministry, just like in general, like doing regular ministry stuff, but I wasn't running the tech team. I wasn't really super involved with it, but I did tech pretty much every other weekend, like mixing sound or running slides or something.
Was this just at 11-12 or did you do in the other?
This was just at 11-12 for now. And then at the end of the year, Jake Lambrisi, our worship pastor, he approached me and he was like, hey, do you want to maybe stay on as an intern after you graduate and, run our tech team? So I'd be in charge of training, I'd be producing. So instead of like mixing sound or creating lights or clicking slides for the weekend.
You make the moolah, or is it just interning?
I'm unpaid intern right now, but so Jake approached me, close to the end of my senior year, like when I was about to graduate, and he's like, "Hey, would you want to stay on as a tech intern, run the team and stuff?" So I was like, "Heck yeah, sounds fun," because I was looking for a way to still stick around and hang out and do stuff with 1112 because I love the ministry and I love the team that they have and the students get to hang out. Oh, that was loud. I get to hang out with you and Keyshawn and all the homies, so it's a good time.
Is that what inspired you to be a electrician, like you were mentioning?
No, that was more of I'm so done with school that I want to explore my other options before I commit to 3.5 more years, probably more like 5 more years of school. And then,
well, after we finish that, let's get back into that topic. So let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
We'll finish this one, and then we'll start on that one.
Yeah. So what I do now is I'm in charge of training, scheduling, recruiting everyone for the tech team. So, right now I haven't been recruiting a whole lot, but I need to get a few more junior guys because we're getting close to the end of the year, and my whole team is seniors except for one person. So I'm losing pretty much my whole team once the graduation hits. But there's a lot of guys coming up from sophomore year that are in tech, but I'd like to have a few senior guys to help them with their transition and stuff. Yeah.
What's something that you wished you learned before, like you knew before when you started the tech team then?
How to troubleshoot lights, because I learned how to I just started learning the lights and the lighting program and how to create shows and cue lists and everything. I just started learning that the last maybe 2 months to a month of my senior year. So I was when I was going into it, I was I don't know if I can train people on lights because I don't even know what I'm doing yet. But I worked with one of the guys who works for the church on tech, and he was helping me learn. But even still, I didn't learn a whole lot of in-depth stuff. It was more here's how to program, and we can get into that later.
Yeah.
And then we never really got super deep into it. Now I know how to do it, but.
Have you custom set anything for any shows where you have to, because you use the X32, don't you? The Behringer?
Yeah.
Have you custom set to any shows where it's once the song starts, you can just press play and certain effects will get added and changed?
No, we don't really.
You don't get that technical.
We don't get that crazy with it. We use effects we use preset shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But we aren't doing any crazy auto tunes or
not like that. But it's say in a certain part of the song where the guitar needs to get turned down, and you just have it press played, and during that part of the song, instead of going trying to remember the entire song by heart and changing it on the go, you just have it set play, and then during that time of the song, it will already instantly go down for you.
No, I don't have that. I prefer
doing manual
to do it manually anyways, because a lot of times if you set it in practice, it's gonna sound a lot different during worship, because the guitarist could be playing quieter in practice because they're I don't want to overpower during practice because I want to just be able to focus on me. I don't want people getting distracted if I'm playing the notes
and
wrong.
then get really hyped during worship, and
then they're I know how to play it now, I'm just gonna slam this thing. And so you gotta I had him up here for that part, but now I need to bring him way down here. So you get in practice, if everyone knows what they're doing and it's also they're playing full volume, you can get it pretty even, but
it's also super different within practice too, because the entire room isn't there and everyone that's in the room worshiping is a giant hello.
Yeah.
That just everyone, all the sound gets absorbed by people, so it's now I just need to slowly boost everything up.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't think about when they're first learning. So one of the things that I always do is when I'm teaching how to run sound, I grab whoever's doing it. I go, okay, let's go up front and listen to it, because we're probably a good 40, 50 feet back from the stage and the speakers. So it's going to sound a lot different. It's going to sound better because we're not as close, but it's going to sound a lot different than someone who's sitting in the front row right in front of the sub. I think
it's definitely there's no ideal position besides the middle of the house for a sound engineer.
I usually tell them, get it right in the middle of the house and you'll be good. But if you can get it so that it sounds as, I mean, you're never gonna get it perfect all the way up front. But if you can get it as good as it's gonna get up front, odds are it's gonna be pretty good in the middle too. So
I love when I'm up front and then I keep forgetting the sub's right in front of my face. Yeah. And I'm like, bro.
I know you. I didn't say anything when you did, but you came up to me a couple weeks ago and you're like, dude, the kick and the bass were like really overpowering today. And I was like, I saw you in the front row.
Yeah,
man.
no, it's definitely yeah. It's just like I'm like it's so hard to hear the snare cut through because of that sub. When plus having 2 subs that big. Yeah. Like what size are they? What?
I don't even know.
Probably
they're like
16, 17, 18.
I think they're like 20. Probably.
Our church
maybe
just
24.
Like it seems like our church just has like an unlimited source of money that like no one knows where it comes from. It's just like how the frick are you able to like take down the entire cafe, rebuild it, and then decide to take it down again and rebuild it? You do it like 3 times. Yeah. All right. So, college. Oh boy. College? So you took college last semester. Mm-hmm. You're a freshman. Mm-hmm. Then this semester, you want to explain what happened to your classes?
So first of all, I don't have anything against college. Yeah. If you want to go to college and you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to do something with a degree, you want to get a business degree. I feel
like a lot of like degrees aren't as useful as they used to be though. Now.
Oh, for sure, but
experience over like sometimes a degree.
Yeah, but no hate on degrees. So I'm not trying to discourage any of our younger listeners from going to college. But if you aren't totally set on what you want to do, or you want to do something, but it's not like for me, I'm not passionate about. I was originally going to be a history teacher for high schoolers. Okay, but I'm not passionate about history. I like history and I like teaching, but I'm not passionate about either of those things. And I'm not really that passionate about being an electrician either. Yeah. But I am passionate about like working with high school students and in a ministry setting. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, well, having a teacher schedule would be good for ministry, but I'm not dead set on being a teacher because you can do a lot of different things and still have, freedom of schedule to do ministry. And same thing with an electrician. It's like haven't started yet. I think I start next Tuesday, so a week from today. But
and you're going with the apprenticeship now.
Yeah. So
explain a little bit of that.
Yeah. So one of my best friend's dads is an electrician, and he runs his own company now. It's a small company. It's not like some large corporation. It's North County Electric. Shameless plug. They do like commercial stuff. They do commercial stuff. So if you got commercial electrician jobs, hit us up. But he's got like 4 or 5 journeymen working for him, and then I think they have like one other guy who might be doing like an apprenticeship type thing like me. And so I hit him up. I wasn't really expecting anything. I was just like, hey, I just want to learn about your trade, and like, if you have time to talk, I would love to talk to you about it. So I met with him like a week or 2 ago. We talked for like an hour and a half or something like that. And then they're like, so when do you want to start? And I was like, shoot, let's do it. All right, so I dropped my classes and I'm starting with them.
I thought you didn't even get in your classes.
No, I did.
I thought you forgot to sign up.
No. That was first semester.
That was first semester.
Yeah. So first semester, I got classes. I just didn't get all the classes I wanted, and some of them were at the San Alejo Miracosta campus instead of the Oceanside. Yeah, that's way too far. So Tuesday, Thursday, I was mobbing like a 45-minute drive both ways.
What time were your classes that semester?
My first class was at 1:30, so I had to leave at like 12:30, which is like right, noon traffic. Everyone's going to lunch or half days going home early or something. I don't know. And then on my way home, I was coming home at like, my second class got out at 5:20, I think. So I was coming home right in rush hour going home traffic. So it was like,
it's just constant traffic back and forth.
Oh my God, the worst was it rained super bad. One of the days, and I was coming home, I think it was on a Tuesday, and it took me an hour and a half to get home. I left the college at 5. No, I left early that day because we had a test, and our teacher let us leave early if we finished our test early. So I think I left at like 4:30 maybe.
That's like right when the traffic gets started.
Yeah, and I got home at 6.
Gee, what?
Yeah.
Like just taking like the 5 and 78.
The only way I could go was 5 to the 78. because there was like it was just in the middle of like off Manchester. I guess I
can't
could have
even
gone El
like
Camino.
imagine just hopping on the freeway and being there for
Awful.
What if you ran out of gas and you're just like, well,
In my car, that's very possible. I get like 19 miles per gallon.
oof,
Not good.
no, not good at all. So are you thinking about becoming like taking that electrician apprenticeship, what you learned from it, and then somehow applying it to what you know in sound and tech then? Because those two definitely do.
Yeah, there's some stuff that could apply, but there's some stuff where it's like I was talking to him because I mean we use XLR and DMX for power cables for lighting fixtures and stuff, and I was like, do you guys ever use those? Like if someone wants a smart light setup, or and he's like, no, we usually just run regular power to it or whatever the power requirement for that light is. They don't really mess with DMX or XLR that much because DMX is what we use for our lights. And DMX, forget what it stands for, but something cool. I swear, it's not nerdy.
Light related.
But what DMX does is it sends both power and information to the lights. So inside of the light housing fixture itself, it has like a little motherboard, and that's what allows us to program our light shows to do what we want instead of just turning on and off.
Yeah, and change colors, movement.
Yeah, so it changes colors, movement, effects, flashes, strobes, you name it. So
can it make a peanut butter sandwich?
Huh?
You said you name it, so I asked.
It cannot.
Dang.
I mean, maybe if it was hooked up to a robot and you had a very sophisticated program, maybe.
Dude,
but
I want a peanut butter sandwich.
Dude, peanut butter sandwiches are good.
Do you want a soda right now?
What you got?
It's super healthy, no sugars, no caffeine, root beer.
So it's flavored water?
Sort of. It's Virgil sodas. Do you want one?
I'm good, thanks though. I'm not big on root beer.
My feelings demolished. That's the only thing I use that fridge right behind us for. That says tips are appreciated but not mandatory.
Here's a tip. Throw some Dr. Peppers in that fridge.
All right, noted. We're going to come back to this podcast in like 2 months, and we'll do another one, and there will be Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Probably extremely healthy, really good for you Dr. Pepper that most people won't like.
As long as it tastes like Dr. Pepper, I don't care if it has
All
caffeine.
right, okay, fair enough.
I'm a big water guy. I support, look into the camera, I support, where's my logo? Hydro Flask. Hydro Flask is a great product. You should sponsor Matthew Dangyou. Keeps your water cool and refreshing all day.
Hydro Flask also really expensive, and I have a rip-off version.
Okay, well, you can sponsor me because I ball out when I buy
Mine costs $10 at Walmart.
Mine was like 15 at REI because I had 20% off
I
and a
got
$20
it during
gift
Indio.
card. Heck yeah.
Because I lost my water.
Dude, you gotta have one at Indio. Otherwise, you literally could die.
No, I like just left mine under my seat during one of the nights, and I went back and was like, frick. And I'm like, yo, Ben, can we hit a Walmart run right now? He's like, yeah, sure. I was like, dope.
Dude, Walmart runs at camp are always the best.
We went to Walmart. Okay, so we went to Walmart the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why anyone puts me in charge of directions. I took us to a Walmart that only sold just like groceries. Had nothing else. It was just a groceries only Walmart.
I've never even heard of that.
No, I didn't either. It was like supermarket Walmart. I was like, all right, this is probably just a normal
did you get it
Walmart.
confused with the super center?
Yeah.
Walmart? So I've never heard of supermarket Walmart.
No, me neither.
But super centers are like the big ones.
Yeah,
like
so I took us to the wrong ones that had absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we needed a lot of food for our cooks that night, though. Okay. Weren't you a cook during India?
I was.
What house were you?
I was France.
France?
Yeah.
What was the favorite thing you made there? Did you guys make pizza?
In France?
Why do I think... No, that's Italy. Wow.
I'm
so bad.
I made a spinach, bacon, and cheese quiche with creme brulee sheet cake for dessert.
Okay.
So it was pretty bomb, if I do say so myself.
Mm-hmm.
But
remember that video you made during Vine Oscars?
Which one?
I think you know which one.
There were a lot of videos that
one of the measuring tape.
Oh, yeah.
Explain what whose idea was that?
Should we explain what Vine Oscars is?
Yeah,
first?
let's explain what Vine Oscars is. So Vine Oscars is an event at our church where people get to send in videos similar to like how Vine was, and we pretty much just watch them during the night and have a good time and laugh.
Yeah. So I am a life group leader in 11-12, as well as running the tech team. And with my life group, I was like, yo, we got to make some vines for Vine Oscars, guys. So let's get the ball rolling. So like we're making vines here and there, we're doing stuff. And then I remember iOS 12 came out yesterday, and it had, I have the 10, so I have like the special camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, measurement app. We're all dudes. Let's make a penis joke. So
the surprise thing was how it got in.
Oh no, there's been worse than that before.
There has?
Yeah. We'll get to that later. I wanna finish explaining this one first
good.
though. So I was like, yo, who wants to do this idea with me? And all the guys were like, no, we're not even gonna get that one in. Like they're not even gonna play it, so why even make it? And I was like, you'd be surprised. Like you should, if you have an idea, even if you think it's stupid, whether it's inappropriate, stupid, as long as it's
they'll call it too.
Yeah.
They would call it if it's like, all right, we're not pinning this in and showing everyone.
Yeah, and if it's super inappropriate, maybe don't make it. But like if you're like pushing the borderline limits a little bit, you might slip through the cracks, you know? Kind of like this one did.
Yep.
And so I was like, yo, Jacob, one of the guys with my girl, was like, yo, come here, we're making this fine. He's like, all right, bet. So I pull out my phone and I explain it to him. And so I take it and I'm like, dude, come here, come check out this new measurement app on iOS 12. You can just like measure stuff with it. It's pretty sweet. And he's like, oh, no way, let me see that. And I'm like measuring a table or something, I don't know, something stupid, just to show that we're using it to measure. And he's like, oh, let me see that. And he grabs it and he just sprints to the bathroom and slams the door. And then I run over and I'm like banging on the door and he's like, whoa, this thing's huge. And I'm like, bro, what is it? And I open the door and he's like looking at the sink. He's like, look at this sink. It's massive. And I'm like,
dang, that's a big sink.
Yeah, I was like, dude, it's gnarly or something. I don't remember what we said exactly, but it was something along those lines.
Definitely.
And then everyone's like, oh, clearly it's his penis. And then I open the door and it's a sink.
Got him. Pulled the rug underneath you.
But when it comes to other inappropriate vines from Vine Oscars that I've seen, Jake Lambrisi, as mentioned before, our worship pastor, along with Josh Cezanne,
oh boy,
the husband of Katie Cezanne, made one my junior year, and it was like totally out of left field, like no one saw it coming. And basically it was Jake and Josh sitting outside like at some tables, and it was raining, and Josh goes, hey Jake, why is it raining? And Jake responds, well, because God's crying. And then Josh is like, well, why is God crying? And Jake goes, it's because you masturbate. It just ends.
It just
ends right there. And everyone was like,
what?
Huh? Have you ever seen that video of Soulja Boy going, huh? It's like that.
Rip everyone that's wearing headphones right now.
Sorry. I'll ASMR the rest of the time to make it just talk really quiet. Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to say that I love you all. Thank you for listening. ASMR is actually kind of lit. Yeah. I feel like listening to it is just really creepy, but actually making ASMR videos is like, does it sound like rape? A little.
I was
we can edit that out.
Or just keep it. Yeah, we'll just leave it in. We'll just keep it raw. I was talking about rain. I was sleeping over with Keyshawn, and we both like play white noise to sleep. So I was playing Rain, and he was playing Minecraft music. It was the best like mixture possible of white noise.
That's like memories right there.
It's like goldfish and milk. Don't ask. Someone said it was really good, and I haven't tried it.
I don't believe that.
I don't either, but
I don't. Excuse my potty mouth, but I don't believe that for a darn second, Matthew.
Dang, cussing at me. My feelings are hurt. So, what do you want to do as an electrician, though?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm like,
You're
I'm
starting
trying
the
it out.
pathway.
I'm trying it out just to see if I like it. I think I will, because I've always liked working with my hands. Like when I've gone on mission trips and stuff, like it's fun working with the kids, but I like doing the manual labor part of stuff and like digging trenches and chopping down, palm trees with machetes and just like getting in and getting dirty. Like I've always loved doing that kind of stuff. It's hard to say kind when you're thinking of the word type and you say it with a T. But I've just always enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm just testing it out, seeing where I go with it. I know, right now, it doesn't pay bad right now. It starts at 15 an hour, I think, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm super grateful for that because they didn't need.
Would you want to own like your own electrician company, probably?
But yeah, that's sort of what I'm feeling out. Because if I really enjoy it, then
are you thinking
stop?
like maybe like you want to have like some job where it's like you still have the open time to be working in ministry?
Yeah, and that's what's great about this is it's gonna suck the first couple weeks getting my sleep schedule arranged for it because I'm not used to the sleep schedule.
What time do you have to wake up?
Probably like 5.
Jeez.
So it's 6 a.m. to 2:30.
Did you have a Spanish class at like?
I had it at
8?
7.
At 7
a.m. So I dropped it like 2 months before the semester ended because I was like I missed so many classes and I had missed 2 tests and we weren't allowed to make up tests. So
That's
I
a
was
big mood.
There was like no way I could get more than like a C in that class at that point. So I was like, if I'm gonna keep going to school, I might as well just drop it now and retake it later and get a good grade instead of.
Do you have to show up at 6 or?
So the job starts at wherever it is for that day. So they do stuff all over North County, but the majority it's like Carlsbad, Vista, Fallbrook, Oceanside, like the.
Is that people's houses or?
It's commercial electric. So in like
what
buildings,
does that mean?
So like
okay,
office buildings, they do stuff for the church. Like I think they did all of North Coast Fallbrook, and they do bigger work projects, not like, oh, my lights aren't turning on in my bedroom, can you come fix that? It's like, no, we're going in and we're usually going into buildings that are being built or remodeled, and we're like adding light fixtures, wall sockets, rearranging where stuff is going, like what it's sending to, and just like because sometimes they're like, oh, we want to take out these walls. Like one of the projects that I'll be working on when I start is there's this office space and they have like their front door and there's just a wall and then a little corridor and then another hallway. So they're taking out that whole wall and like another wall going like it's like a corner
big
type
wall
thing, and they're taking that out so that they can put like a receptionist desk in there and everything. But what we have to do is we have to go, okay, well, once you take that wall out, where's the electricity going to? So we're rerouting everything and like adding fixtures to where they want to have more lights.
Have you thought about working, like finding some friends that like work in architect then for situations like that? Because you definitely need people that like can take out the wall, which obviously isn't your guys' job. Your guys' job is the afterward fact and figuring out where it's gonna go. Yeah,
so we work with general contractors, so like the guys who are doing all that stuff, and they come in. They do what they need to do. So if it's a place being built, they, make everything with the wood and like whatever they need to get the structure. Then we put in the electrical stuff and then they add like the drywall or whatever it is that they're doing and then finish it. But yeah, I haven't thought super far ahead yet because I'm like, I'm still not 100% set on it. It's like I'm trying it out. And if I could end up hating it and then I'll probably go back to school. Unfortunately, but I think I'm gonna like it, and if I end up liking it, then I'm gonna try to make a career out of it. So whatever that means, whether it's I work for
so what's like what are you forever, most excited about for it?
I'm excited to have income.
Fair enough.
Number one thing to be excited about, and then I'm excited to like because even though it's commercial, all this stuff still applies for like residential, and like working at houses and stuff, so I could always help my parents out with stuff around the house, or when I'm older and I have my own place, I can fix my own electrical issues instead of having to call some guy and
save a bunch of money.
It's like instead of paying some random guy $50 an hour plus parts to fix it, I could just pay for parts and fix it myself.
True.
On my own time.
And then you have everyone else that has no clue what he's talking about, like me, and you'll pay him $50 an hour.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Sounds like a good deal. I'll give you the friends and family discount.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I'm going to remember that because I want to build my own house one day.
All right.
I have the blueprints already set.
Really?
Yeah. I have the house, like pictures of like the house. Like my parents built it, but then it's like I want to build it now
Yeah.
because it's a sick house.
Yeah.
So last question. If you, with going on and starting a new path, what would be like your one thing? What's your one like word of advice for someone that's starting college or starting or not knowing what they want to do with your life? Because that seems like in a situation you're currently going through and have been going through. It's like you're not 100% sure where you want to head towards or what your purpose is, but you know that you need to start in a direction. What's your advice on that?
Try as many things as you can before you get too deep into one thing.
Sure.
And like obviously if you know what you want to do and you're like, I'm passionate about being a doctor, I want to go to Haiti and bring vaccines to the kids there, go for it. Like, but if you're like me and you're like, I like teaching and I like history, but I also am not passionate or like dead set on it, don't be afraid to, take a semester off, try other things, try other classes that
especially when you're young.
Yeah, especially when you're young. And like I have the luxury of my dad was military, so I don't have to pay for college as long as I'm going to like a UC or Cal State school. But like if you have to pay for college, like don't be afraid to change your major. First of all, if you end up hating if you want to be a psychology major and you take your first psychology class and you're like, I hate this sucks, don't be afraid to change your major. Like, don't stick yourself in a place where you're going to hate the rest of your life. But also like if you're if you're a history major, like don't be afraid to take a psychology class or take science classes,
because you never know what you're going to learn.
You could
or know who you'll meet in that class too.
True. You could meet good connections. You could meet a wifey or a husband if you're a female.
Does Luke have a wifey?
No.
Luke wants a wifey.
Luke's single, so hit him up, ladies.
He has a majestic beard if you're not watching the video version. Very majestic.
Thank you.
It's like a cute version of Jesus.
But yeah, I think that would be my advice, is to don't stick yourself in one place too early. Try other things. Don't be afraid to try a trade either. Don't feel like you have to go to a 4-year university to be successful in life, because there's plenty, like 20, 30 years ago, people were a lot more interested in you if you had experience or were in a trade or like had, because it showed that you worked. You didn't just go to class, and not that class isn't work, but when you do these kinds of jobs, it like shows, and people like that work ethic. That because
you can have like a degree but not know what the heck you're doing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Something compared to like someone that knows what they're doing, knows like every single part of it, knows all the knowledge about it, but without a degree.
Yeah, and this is a pet peeve of mine, is when people get their degrees and expect full-time jobs with full-time pay for max amount
and they
for
have
whatever
no
their degree is.
But they have no
like, don't be afraid to take an unpaid internship in your field, first of all, while you're in college going for that. Because like, if you get 4 years of experience and then graduate with your degree, you have 4 years of experience more than probably everyone else in that class.
Yep.
And most places, if you go and be like, hey, I'll be your slave basically for 4 years, give me 10, 15 hours a week, and then work a side job at like Starbucks or Chick-fil-A or something just to like make money. Like, don't be afraid to do that. Like,
especially those interns, you'll probably learn a lot and more in those like interns than most classes during college too.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things that appeals to me about a trade is like I'm going to be taking online like vocational school classes. But what's cool about that is I, Tuesday, Thursday when I have my online class, I watch the videos and then I go out Wednesday morning after I watched a video Tuesday night and I apply what I learned. Yep. And that's like the same thing if you do an internship while you're in, say you want to get a business degree, go to your local, I don't know.
Try to start a business during college.
No, I'm trying to think of like a business that you could just walk into. Like go to.
Well, it depends. Like if you want to get a business degree and you want to start a business, go look for who people are already in the business.
Yeah.
Go talk to them and say, hey, can I interview you? Can I work with you? Can I I'll do anything. You don't have to pay me to just I will literally just want to dissect your brain pretty much, and not in a weird way, but dissect your brain to get that knowledge from you to understand.
Yeah. And
it'll save you a lot of money in the long run too.
Yeah,
That's for sure. Instead of learning stuff.
And mentors, however you want to say it, are like massive. Like if you don't have a mentor in the field that you want to go into, like you need one.
True.
Like I have a mentor like just for like my personal life and church life decisions and stuff like that. But he doesn't do what I'm trying to do. So I've found someone who's willing to be like a mentor for me in the electrician field and like work with him, and he's going to show me the ropes instead of being like I'm watching videos online and then trying to figure it out myself. It's like
it's such a different experience doing hands-on versus like YouTube. Like as great as YouTube is to learn stuff, it's like unless you're applying it and actually doing it with someone hands-on, you will learn a lot faster and a lot more. For sure. And
you can't ask questions on a YouTube video. It's like if I'm say I'm out in the field one day and I'm working and I'm with Rob or Ty or whoever, those are like the two main guys that I'll be working with. Like if I'm like, hey, what are you doing there? They can just tell me in that moment and come up and be like, hey, come up here on the ladder and like, look, I'm doing this, this, and this, and instead of me just like handing him stuff and then being like, I'm gonna go on Instagram while he does that. You gotta invest first of all. Like if you're doing something,
invest yourself, invest your time into it. Yeah, don't waste it.
To quote the wisest man on the planet, Ron Swanson, don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing. So like if you're gonna do something, do it to the best of your ability. Don't kill yourself trying to do it, obviously. But if you're gonna commit to something, commit to it. And if you commit to 6 months of doing something, you're doing that for 6 months. And that's like what I told.
And you'll see the progress.
So and if you just
not so fast, but over time you would see it.
Yeah, and like going into the electrician stuff, I'm probably not gonna like it for the first month because I'm not gonna know what I'm doing. I'm gonna be getting up super early in the morning and I'm not gonna be used to it. Nope. But like these are all things that you just have to like work through. And then after that first month, I could be like, I actually really enjoy this. This is fun. I'm making good money, and I could want to do that for the rest of my life. So like, if you don't like something at first, it's like
give it a little bit of time.
Give it some time.
But don't over commit to it though. At the same time.
Yeah, like don't pigeonhole yourself into a spot where you can't ever get out of. Like, and that's why I'm glad that I started this early instead of waiting till I'm 3 years into college and then going, well, what if I don't want to be a history teacher? Because it's like then I'm like, well, there goes 3 years of my life if I stop now. So I'm just gonna get stuck being a history teacher even if I end up hating it. So it's like commit to stuff. Don't kill yourself trying to do it, but like I set a time when I was, starting, I was like, hey, I can give you guys, the next 6 months. Would you guys be okay with that? And then after that 6 months, we'll reevaluate. If I love it, I would love to keep on like doing it. If I end up hating it, which I don't think I will. Then, we can agree that, we can part ways. And so like we came to that agreement beforehand instead of me like, say 6 months from now, I hate the job and I'm like, peace out, y'all. They're gonna be like, what the frick? But now it's like, if I end up hating it after 6 months, we already came to the agreement that I was gonna stop. So it prevents hard feelings in the end. It's like, it makes it so that you get the most out of those 6 months because they're gonna be trying to, get you trained up during those 6 months instead of like, oh, he's gonna be here forever. We got time. It's like, no, we want to show him what it's like earlier so that he knows what he's doing and whether or not he wants to pursue this. So
sweet.
Is that all the time we have for today?
Yeah. Unless you want to have a little last thing you want to talk about really quick.
Yeah, dude. Let's talk about PewDiePie versus T-Series.
Did you see if we're talking about this? I'll probably throw it a little bit before.
Yeah.
So I'll just edit this before, and then throw our last conversation.
Okay.
Cool. Noted, Matthew. Did you see the Super Bowl? What Mr. Beast did?
Where they had the T-shirts.
The T-shirts.
Yeah.
And they made it on live TV.
Yeah. So, PewDiePie versus T-Series.
All right.
T-Series is the big gay. I don't have anything against gay people, so don't take it like that. But they do have the big gay.
Yeah, it's a corporation, freaking channel.
Yeah.
With like 100 plus people working on this one channel and sub bots first off.
Yeah, and so what you got to do is people have been getting randomly subscribed to T-Series even though they haven't themselves subscribed to them. So make sure you log into your YouTube.
Is PewDiePie still on the top right now?
Barely. Like it's within 100K, I think. So what you got to do is you got to go on YouTube. You got to go to your subscribed page. Make sure you're unsubscribed from T-Series.
True.
And make sure you are subscribed to PewDiePie because we're running out of 9-year-olds and we need more than 9-year-olds.
We need 12-year-olds now.
We need 12-year-olds. The problem is, I think PewDiePie said this very elegantly, was that all the 9-year-olds now are unvaccinated 9-year-olds because the trend has been going on for a while now. So they're dying off too early and they can't keep staying subscribed. And that's why all his subscribers are 9-year-olds because they're unvaccinated and they're getting polio.
What the frick? Oh, dude, wait, let me do math. It's 30K away right now.
Yeah, it's
30K.
He'll get like a big lead, or like T-Series will catch up really close, and then he'll get like 100K like out of nowhere. And then it'll like slowly creep back up, and so it's like I want to see him get to 100.
Dude, honestly,
I want to see him get to 100 mil. We only need 15 million more people.
Yeah, honestly, well, I feel like because of T-Series, PewDiePie just grew because of it.
He got like 15
he
million
was at
subscribers.
Like 60 million, and then T-Series randomly pops up having 54, and now it's just been a race to the 100 now.
Yeah,
I think what the heck.
Also, T-Series is cheating because they're from India, and not to be racist, but there's like I think there's 2 billion people in India. And so it's like...
And if like everyone just in India just gets YouTube and they're already automatically subbed to T-Series, like what the heck, dude?
Yeah.
What if YouTube's just like, oh, these are all fake accounts and then delete like 40 million people? But thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Sweet. Yeah. All right. Roll outro things.
I hope you guys all did enjoy this week's episode with Luke Cosley. I just want to inform everyone and let everyone know that these podcasts are going to be coming out every 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I'll have another podcast out with Keyshawn Slavinsky. And if you got to this point of the podcast and have listened to this entire thing, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And just post something on Instagram saying bananas are secretly pigs with a screenshot of this time at the podcast. That would be awesome. All right. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.